By many accounts, Coach, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. On 1st and 10, Wooten. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. From the gun, Wooten. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Flush to his right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. On 4th down, Wooten looking here for Smith downfield. And that is going to be incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. First carry for Royce Freeman. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. From the 50, it's Watson. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jayon Brown. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now it's Watson. That one going to be complete to David Moore.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Third and 2, Watson. He's got his man, Boyd. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47, and his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Wooten. Open man, right side is his running back. It's complete downfield. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. 3rd down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop. Back to throw. Wooten. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Jonnu Smith, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, That gives like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's Watson. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Texans, nothing.
The Texans with a first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. He'll pitch it back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
On the double. Right over there. Yeah. Mike 58, right there. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now a carry for Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go, here we go. 60 or. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Big rip, big rip.
To throw on second down. Wooten firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Titans on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun. Wooten. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's got his target. That's more. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Watson looks to throw again. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kamale Correa. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Titan football. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. There he goes left side. And it's a touchdown. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7.
Next score, Titans 14, Texans 7.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Wooten. Over the middle, complete. That's Jacobs. Give him 9 on the play. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. And his pass incomplete. The intended receiver that time was Josh Jacobs, and it's 3rd and short. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Throw left side complete. It's Jacobs. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
60 outlaws, you draw corpus.
Here's Jacobs. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. 2nd and 10. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Well, they need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Wooten. And this one complete to Smith. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 13 yards on the connection, but not enough. 4th down.
Brings up 4th down and goal.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
That's it, baby.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. A pickup of 11 at a Texans first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a second down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Watson operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kamale Correa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Wooten. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on third down, Wooten going right side here, and that's complete. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Wooten looking deep downfield. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. To throw is Watson on third down. Thomas has got it, complete. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing again is Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Kamale Correa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 13. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Looking to throw on second down. Wooten. It's caught. Smith. And this will be a pickup of 4 here, up to their own 20. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
You're not ready. You're not ready. Now.
On 3rd and 2. Wooten. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gray.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
It's second down and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Titans on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Wooten. The open man is Smith. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Wooten. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. It's caught, Jones. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get 1 more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
This is set. 19. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. To throw is Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Kamale Correa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Kamale Correa. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Make that now 3 straight 2-yard gains. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. Back now on EA Sports. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Following the field goal on his Locke Edwards to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held under pressure. They got him again. Kamale Correa racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack here, 2nd and 11. Now it's Watson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Watson. He's going to let it fly. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plan to catch.
Rush in.
So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Titans, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.